What if everything you've been told about creating wealth has been leading you down the wrong path all along? Has it ever occurred to you that the financial struggles keeping you up at night might have nothing to do with the economy, your job, or bad luck? Stay with me until the end, because what I'm about to share could completely transform your relationship with money forever. But before we begin, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. Every single day, millions of people wake up feeling trapped in a financial prison of their own making. They work longer hours, cut more expenses, and still find themselves caught in the same cycle of barely making ends meet. Has this ever happened to you? That sinking feeling when you check your bank account, or that knot in your stomach when unexpected bills arrive? The truth is, we've been conditioned to believe that our financial situation is determined by external forces beyond our control. The job market, the economy, our upbringing, or simply not being in the right place at the right time. But what if I told you that the greatest obstacle standing between you and abundance isn't out there at all? It's within you. Florence Scovel Shinn, one of the most profound spiritual teachers of the 20th century, revealed a powerful secret. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in order which you live. This isn't just some feel-good quote to put on your vision board. It's a fundamental law of the universe that governs every aspect of your financial reality. Think about it for a moment. Who gave you your current beliefs about money? Were they handed down from parents who struggled? Absorbed from a culture that glorifies the starving artist or views wealth with suspicion? What you believe about yourself and money creates an invisible ceiling that no amount of hard work can break through if left unchallenged. The wealthiest people in the world understand something that most will never grasp. Your outer world of financial circumstances is merely a reflection of your inner world of thoughts, beliefs, and especially the words you speak. The language you use when talking about money isn't just describing your reality, it's creating it with every syllable. What you're about to discover might surprise you, because the solution to financial abundance isn't about complex investment strategies or working yourself to exhaustion. It's about mastering one powerful word that unlocks the floodgates of prosperity. This single word, when properly understood and applied, has the power to transform not just your bank account, but your entire relationship with abundance. And here's what makes this approach different from anything you've tried before. It doesn't require you to change your external circumstances first. You don't need a new job, a windfall inheritance, or even a brilliant business idea. All you need is the courage to change the stories you tell yourself about money. The journey to abundance begins with recognizing the hidden truth behind your financial mindset, a truth that's been hiding in plain sight all along. If these prosperity principles resonated with you, hit the subscribe button now to join our community of conscious creators. Each week, I share Florence Scovel Shinn's most powerful teachings to help you manifest the abundance you deserve. Have you ever stopped to question where your money beliefs actually came from? Most of us inherit an entire financial philosophy before we're even old enough to count. These beliefs weren't chosen consciously. They were absorbed through countless overheard conversations at the dinner table, watching your parents' faces tighten with worry when bills arrived, or noticing how money was either discussed openly or treated as a taboo subject in your home. Society reinforced these early lessons with powerful cultural narratives. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. You have to work hard for every dollar, or perhaps the most limiting belief of all. People like us don't get wealthy. These invisible scripts run silently in the background of your consciousness, creating the boundaries of what you believe is possible for your financial future. The most profound revelation in your wealth transformation journey is understanding that money operates according to spiritual laws that transcend the economic principles taught in business schools. Just as gravity works whether you believe in it or not, these spiritual laws of money are constantly shaping your financial reality, regardless of your awareness of them. This isn't mystical nonsense. It's the behind-the-scenes operating system of abundance that the world's most prosperous individuals have always understood. Money is energy in motion. It responds not to your education, your background, or even your hard work, although those things matter, but primarily to your inner relationship with it. Money is attracted to clarity, repelled by fear, multiplied by gratitude, and magnetized by authentic value. When you begin to see money through this lens, everything shifts. Suddenly, your financial decisions aren't just practical choices. They're energetic declarations to the universe about what you believe you deserve. The way you speak about money, think about money, feel about money, and handle physical currency all broadcast a specific frequency that either attracts or repels prosperity. This understanding puts the power back in your hands. No longer are you at the mercy of economic forces beyond your control. Instead, you become the conscious creator of your financial experience through the alignment of your thoughts, words, and actions with universal principles that have governed wealth since the beginning of time. Now, I want to go even deeper into this topic by exploring the first and most foundational of these spiritual laws, the law of word. This principle, which Florence Scovel Shinn called the most vital power in the universe, reveals why the language you use about money might be the very thing keeping abundance at arm's length. If you've been nodding along as you read this, thinking, this resonates with something I've always sensed, type, I'm awakening to abundance in the comments below. The law of word reveals an uncomfortable truth about our relationship with money that most financial advisors never discuss. Money itself has no emotions. It doesn't judge you, hold grudges, or play favorites. Money isn't moral or immoral. It's simply a neutral force that responds to the energetic frequency you broadcast into the universe. This revelation is both liberating and challenging because it places the full responsibility for your financial situation squarely in your hands. Think of money as a mirror, perfectly reflecting back the signal you transmit. If your internal broadcast constantly features worry, doubt, and scarcity, even if those feelings are hidden beneath your conscious awareness, money will faithfully echo that vibration back to you through your experiences. This isn't punishment. It's simply the universe responding to your energetic signature with perfect precision. Wealthy people aren't necessarily smarter, more talented, or even harder working than you. The defining difference is often the frequency they consistently emit, one of certainty, abundance, and worthiness rather than doubt, scarcity, and unworthiness. Their inner landscape creates a resonance that naturally attracts financial opportunities while repelling circumstances that don't match their expected reality. This brings us to one of Florence Scovel Shinn's most powerful teachings. Your word is your wand. Every syllable that leaves your lips carries creative power, planting seeds in the fertile soil of universal consciousness. When you casually remark, I can never afford what I really want, or money slips through my fingers, or I'm always broke, you're not merely describing your current circumstances. You're actively programming your financial future. Your words aren't just reflections of your thoughts. They're architects of your reality. The universe doesn't differentiate between observations and commands. It simply takes your spoken word as an instruction and begins arranging circumstances to match it. This is the hidden mechanism behind why some people seem perpetually stuck in financial quicksand despite their best efforts to climb out. The transformational journey begins when you recognize the immense creative power you wield through your everyday speech. The phrases you repeat about money aren't innocent observations. They're powerful incantations shaping your financial destiny. Each complaint about bills, each defeated sigh about your bank balance, each casual reference to being bad with money is a spell you cast upon your own future. Subscribe now to transform your financial reality through these timeless prosperity principles. When you join our channel, you're not just watching videos, you're connecting with a community that's mastering the art of conscious abundance. The good news in this revelation is that you can immediately begin redirecting this creative power. You can consciously choose words that summon abundance rather than repel it. This isn't about denying your current reality or engaging in empty, positive thinking. It's about speaking with the authority of someone who understands the causal relationship between word and manifestation. But mastering the law of word requires more than just changing your vocabulary. It demands a fundamental shift in how you perceive the relationship between your inner and outer worlds. And this brings us to the transformative power of a specific technique Florence Scovel Shinn shared with her students. A method for charging your words with manifestation power. If you've ever noticed how your words seem to create your reality, type, "My words create my wealth," in the comments below. This transformative technique begins with a simple but profound shift in how you use language. Rather than describing your financial circumstances as they currently appear, you begin to prescribe what you choose to experience instead. Most people function as financial weather reporters, simply narrating the conditions they observe. Bills are piling up. I never have. Enough. I can't afford that. But those who master the law of word become financial commanders, issuing clear directives to universal intelligence. Florence Scovel Shinn gave her students specific declarations designed to reprogram their financial blueprint. My supply is abundant. Money flows to me freely under grace in perfect ways. Notice how this statement doesn't argue with current reality or engage in empty wishful thinking. Instead, it calmly establishes a new pattern in consciousness, from which external circumstances must eventually rearrange themselves. This revelation completely transforms your relationship with language. Your words are no longer passive commentaries about what is. They become active architects of what will be. This is the hidden mechanism behind why affirmations work when properly understood and applied. You're not trying to convince yourself of something untrue. You're establishing a new vibrational frequency that the universe must eventually match. The mindset shift required here is profound. Most people believe they must see evidence before they can speak positively about their finances. The spiritual master understands that speaking with authority creates the pathway through which evidence can appear. This reversal, speaking first, seeing later, represents the crucial breakthrough that separates those who experience occasional financial luck from those who generate consistent abundance. In practice, this means becoming extraordinarily conscious of your daily financial vocabulary. When you catch yourself saying, "I can't afford that," you immediately replace it with, "I'm choosing to direct my money elsewhere right now." When bills arrive, rather than groaning about expenses, you might say, "I'm grateful for the services I receive and for my ability to pay for them." When faced with an unexpected cost, instead of declaring disaster, you affirm, "Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways." The power in this approach isn't positive thinking. It's the recognition that consciousness is causal. Your inner world creates your outer experience, not the other way around. By deliberately choosing words that align with abundance rather than scarcity, you're not denying reality. You're exercising your divine right to select which version of reality you prefer to experience. This journey of transformation through conscious language leads naturally to understanding another crucial aspect of financial manifestation: the specific power contained in 3 simple words that, when spoken with conviction, can rewrite your entire financial story overnight. If you're ready to transform your financial vocabulary from this moment forward, type "I speak abundance into existence" in the comments below. These 3 simple words hold more manifestation power than most complex financial strategies. It's already mine. When spoken with genuine belief, this declaration performs a kind of spiritual time travel, collapsing the perceived gap between desire and fulfillment. It's not wishful thinking. It's a profound recognition of how reality actually works at the quantum level, where everything exists in potential before it emerges into physical form. When you declare, "It's already mine," about financial abundance, you're not lying to yourself. You're acknowledging a deeper truth that transcends your current visible circumstances. You're recognizing that on the unseen planes of creation, your abundance already exists in completed form. This shift in perspective creates an energetic bridge that allows physical manifestation to flow more readily into your experience. This declaration works because it aligns your consciousness with the natural order of creation. In the universal blueprint, having always precedes seeing, not the other way around. Most people operate in reverse, waiting to see evidence before they'll believe in their abundance. But masters of manifestation understand that genuine belief must come first, creating the channel through which physical evidence can then appear. The power of this declaration multiplies exponentially when you move beyond merely thinking or speaking it to actually writing it down. There's a mysterious alchemy that happens when you physically inscribe your declarations. The act of writing engages multiple senses: touch, sight, and proprioception, creating neural pathways that bypass conscious resistance and speak directly to your subconscious mind. When you write, it's already mine. By hand, you're not just recording a thought, you're performing a sacred ritual that tells your entire nervous system, this is law now. The physical act of writing activates parts of your brain that remain dormant during passive reading or listening. This multisensory engagement helps your declaration root more deeply in the fertile soil of your subconscious, where all manifestation begins. Ancient wisdom traditions have long recognized this principle. From Egyptian hieroglyphs carved in stone to Hebrew prayers written on parchment, the act of writing has always been understood as a method for making the invisible visible, for bringing divine potential into earthly form. Modern neuroscience confirms what mystics have always known. Writing by hand creates unique neural connections that transform abstract concepts into embodied understanding. This revelation illuminates why journaling about financial goals, writing affirmations daily, or even commenting your declarations online can accelerate your manifestation journey. Each written word doesn't just express your intention, it imprints it onto the quantum field that orchestrates all physical reality. Your written declarations become energetic signatures that attract correlation. This vibrational mathematics that determines what you attract financially goes far deeper than most manifestation teachings acknowledge. Your financial frequency isn't created by your conscious thoughts alone or by your spoken affirmations in isolation. It's the combined energy of everything you think, say, and feel about money, all working together to broadcast a specific signal that the universe then mirrors back to you with perfect precision. This revelation explains why someone might repeat positive affirmations about wealth while still attracting financial struggle. Their conscious thoughts might be aligned with abundance, but if their unconscious beliefs contradict those thoughts, or if their emotions remain rooted in scarcity despite their words, the resulting frequency remains mixed at best. The universe doesn't respond to your positive affirmations or visualizations alone. It responds to the total vibrational package you're broadcasting. Think of it as an energetic fingerprint that's completely unique to you. Your habitual thoughts about money, both conscious and unconscious, combine with the words you regularly speak about finances and the emotions you consistently feel when dealing with money matters. This three-dimensional frequency creates your prosperity blueprint, the invisible template that your physical financial experiences must follow according to spiritual law. This understanding illuminates why quick-fix approaches to manifestation often fail. You can't change a lifetime of financial programming with a weekend seminar or a few days of positive thinking. True transformation requires alignment across all three dimensions of your being: mental, verbal, and emotional. When your thoughts, words, and feelings about money all resonate with the same abundant frequency, you create a coherent signal so powerful that your external reality has no choice but to reorganize around it. The revolutionary insight that emerges from this understanding completely transforms your approach to wealth creation. You don't chase money, you become money. This isn't metaphorical. It's the literal mechanism through which lasting prosperity manifests in your life. Instead of pursuing financial abundance as if it were something separate from you that must be captured or achieved, you recognize that abundance is a state of being that you can embody right now. Most people spend their entire lives in pursuit mode, strategizing, struggling, and straining to reach a financial destination that always seems to remain just beyond their grasp. But masters of manifestation understand that chasing creates the very separation it seeks to overcome. The moment you begin pursuing money, you energetically establish the fact that you don't have it, that it's out there while you're in here, reinforcing the very lack you're trying to transcend. The alternative isn't passive inaction, it's active embodiment. You stop chasing wealth and start radiating the frequency of abundance from within your being. You cultivate the thoughts, speak the words, and generate the feelings of someone who is already wealthy in consciousness. This alignment creates a magnetic field so powerful that opportunities, resources, and abundance naturally gravitate towards you without the desperate energy of pursuit. Understanding this principle of embodiment naturally leads us to explore the practical process of feeling it real, the experiential technique that transforms intellectual understanding into embodied manifestation power. If you've begun to shift from chasing wealth to embodying it, type, "I am the frequency of abundance" in the comments below. This experiential technique, feeling it real, transcends intellectual understanding to activate the true manifestation mechanism. Florence Scovel Shinn emphasized that it wasn't enough to think about your desired state or to speak it with your lips. You must actually feel the reality of it in your body, in your emotions, in the depths of your being. When your internal vibration genuinely matches the state you desire to experience externally, reality has no choice but to reorganize itself around your new frequency. This revelation explains why some people can diligently practice visualization, affirmation, and other manifestation techniques for years without significant results. They're engaging with these practices, intellectually or verbally, but not allowing the feeling of their desired state to permeate their entire being. The universe doesn't respond to what you think about abundance or what you say about it. It responds to the feeling frequency you emit when engaging with the concept of wealth. The transformational practice begins with allowing yourself to genuinely feel what it would be like to already have the financial abundance you desire. Close your eyes and let yourself sink into the embodied experience of freedom, security, generosity, and peace that financial abundance would bring. Notice how your breathing changes, how your posture shifts, how tension melts from your shoulders, how your decision-making transforms when you truly feel wealthy in your nervous system rather than just thinking about wealth in your mind. This isn't about manufacturing artificial emotions or forcing yourself to feel something you don't. It's about removing the blocks to feeling what is already your natural state of abundance. When you strip away the layers of conditioning that have convinced you of limitation, the feeling of abundance emerges naturally, not as something foreign to be achieved, but as your authentic nature to be remembered. As your vibration genuinely aligns with the frequency of abundance, something remarkable happens. Your actions, words, and choices begin to naturally harmonize with this new state without effort or strain. You don't have to force yourself to make wealthy decisions or to speak abundant words. These expressions flow organically from your new state of being. External reality then begins to mirror this internal alignment, bringing opportunities, resources, and circumstances that match your embodied prosperity consciousness. Yet despite understanding these principles intellectually, many seekers find themselves hitting an invisible ceiling in their manifestation journey. They apply techniques diligently, practice visualizations regularly, speak affirmations consistently, but their financial reality remains stubbornly unchanged. The hidden truth behind this frustration reveals perhaps the most crucial principle of all. You cannot rise higher than your self-concept. If your core identity, your fundamental sense of who you are, remains anchored in the self-concept of struggler, survivor, or someone who never quite makes it, the universe must faithfully mirror that identity regardless of what techniques you apply on the surface. Your conscious efforts to manifest abundance will be constantly undermined by the unconscious broadcast of your self-concept, creating the experience of taking 2 steps forward and 2 steps back in your financial journey. This explains why some people can lose everything and rebuild their fortunes with remarkable speed, while others remain stuck in financial limitation despite years of hard work and positive thinking. The difference isn't luck or privilege. It's the core self-concept from which they operate. Those who rebuild quickly maintain a self-concept of abundance, even when external circumstances temporarily suggest otherwise. Those who remain stuck are often attempting to manifest prosperity from a self-concept fundamentally rooted in scarcity. This revelation invites us to explore the invisible architecture of your identity, the I am statements that form the foundation of your entire financial experience. If you recognize how your self-concept has been limiting your financial reality, type, "I am transforming my financial identity" in the comments below. Your I am statements represent the most powerful creative force in your financial universe, far more influential than any strategy, technique, or action plan. These core declarations of identity aren't just descriptions of who you think you are. They're causal commands that shape every aspect of your prosperity journey. Most people remain completely unaware of the I am statements running silently in the background of their consciousness. Yet these hidden declarations determine every dollar, every opportunity, and every financial result they experience. When you silently declare, "I am someone who struggles with money," or "I am not good with finances," or "I am always just getting by," you aren't merely describing your current situation, you're programming the creative mechanism of the universe to continue producing that exact experience. Your I am broadcasts a specific frequency that the law must honor, organizing all circumstances, opportunities, and results to remain in perfect alignment with your declared identity. Florence Scovel Shinn recognized this profound mechanism when she taught that the words following I am create your destiny. The universe doesn't argue with your I am declarations. It simply says, "Yes, you are," and proceeds to manifest the corresponding reality. This revelation transforms your entire approach to manifestation, shifting your focus from changing external conditions to consciously selecting the I am statements that will shape your financial future. The breakthrough for lasting wealth creation doesn't come from finding the perfect investment or business opportunity. It comes from becoming the kind of person for whom abundance is normal. This identity-level transformation represents the quantum leap in your prosperity consciousness. Instead of trying to attract wealth as something foreign or extraordinary, you embody an identity for whom prosperity feels natural, expected, and completely aligned with who you are at your core. This shift explains why some people seem to attract money effortlessly, while others struggle despite working twice as hard. Those who manifest with ease have internalized abundance as their natural state, not as something to achieve, but as something to express. They don't chase prosperity as an unusual or exceptional condition. They allow it as the normal expression of their authentic identity. The journey to this transformed identity begins with conscious awareness of the I am statements currently operating in your financial reality. What do you silently declare about yourself when you check your bank balance? What identity do you assume when making financial decisions? What core beliefs about your relationship with money have you accepted as just who I am without questioning their origin or validity? Once you've brought these unconscious declarations into the light of awareness, you can begin the revolutionary practice of consciously selecting new I am statements aligned with the prosperity you desire to experience. This isn't about forcing yourself to believe something against your will. It's about recognizing which declarations truly resonate with your highest self and consciously reinforcing them until they become your new default setting. The power of this identity-level transformation goes far beyond temporary changes in behavior or thinking patterns. When you genuinely shift who you are being in relation to money, everything about your financial experience transforms. From how opportunities find you, to how you make decisions, to how resources flow through your life. Understanding this principle of identity-based manifestation naturally leads us to explore the powerful bridge between your inner transformation and your outer prosperity, the guardian at the gate that determines whether your new identity takes root or fades away. If you recognize how your "I am" statements have been shaping your financial reality, type "I am wealth in motion" in the comments below. This guardian at the gate, this bridge between inner transformation and outer manifestation, is what Florence Scovel Shinn called the law of obedience. This spiritual principle reveals why some seekers experience fleeting results while others create lasting prosperity. Most people remain unaware that spiritual law is precise but not pushy. It responds to consistency rather than intensity, to persistent assumption rather than occasional bursts of faith. The law of obedience states that you must maintain your assumption of abundance regardless of what current circumstances appear to show. This isn't blind denial of reality. It's recognition of a deeper truth that transcends temporary appearances. When circumstances contradict your new identity, when bills pile up despite your prosperity consciousness, when opportunities seem to vanish just as you've declared abundance, these moments aren't signs of failure. They're the critical junctures where your new assumption is either established or abandoned. This revelation explains why many manifestation journeys stall or reverse. Most people maintain their new prosperity identity only until the first strong contradiction appears: the unexpected expense, the delayed payment, the apparent setback. At that precise moment of challenge, they abandon their assumption and revert to the old identity, telling themselves, "See, this doesn't work for me," or "I knew this was too good to be true." This surrender to appearance effectively cancels the manifestation process just as it was gaining momentum. The masters understand that these moments of apparent contradiction aren't failures of the law. They're tests of your commitment to your new identity. They recognize that the universe doesn't respond to occasional visits to prosperity consciousness. It responds to taking up permanent residence there. When circumstances seem to contradict your assumption, that's not the moment to abandon ship. It's the moment to stand firm in your new identity with even greater conviction. This steadfastness, this spiritual obedience to your highest self rather than to temporary appearances, creates an unshakable foundation for lasting prosperity. It signals to the universal field that your new identity isn't just a passing whim or a fair-weather commitment, but a genuine transformation that deserves corresponding external change. Your willingness to maintain your assumption despite contradictory evidence becomes the invisible bridge that allows manifestation to complete its journey from spiritual potential to physical reality. The journey to mastery evolves through daily obedience to spiritual law, not rigid, forced obedience, but loving alignment with principles that serve your highest expression. This isn't about perfection, it's about direction and persistence. When you slip into old patterns, as all humans occasionally do, you simply notice without judgment and gently return to your prosperity consciousness. Each return strengthens the neural pathways of abundance until, gradually, prosperity thinking becomes your default state rather than your conscious practice. True financial mastery arrives when you no longer have to remind yourself to think abundantly. It's simply who you are. When blessing money as it flows from you feels more natural than fearing its departure. When speaking prosperity feels more authentic than complaining about lack. When making decisions from abundance feels more comfortable than choosing from scarcity. This transformation from conscious practice to unconscious embodiment represents the quantum leap from doing prosperity to being prosperity. Understanding this principle of persistent obedience naturally leads us to explore how identity-level transformation creates an unstoppable momentum in your financial world, a state where nothing external can break the rhythm you've established internally. If you recognize the power of maintaining your prosperity consciousness even when circumstances temporarily suggest otherwise, type "I stand firm in abundance" in the comments below. As we bring this journey of financial transformation to a close, I want you to remember something powerful. The principles we've explored today aren't just concepts to think about, They're living truths waiting for your embodiment. Your relationship with money is simply a reflection of your relationship with yourself. And the moment you truly claim your divine abundance as your birthright, everything shifts. The path we've walked together today reveals something most financial advisors will never tell you: that your prosperity isn't determined by economic conditions, your job title, or even your past. It's determined by the consciousness you bring to each moment, by the words you speak with conviction, and by the identity you claim with quiet authority. If you felt a resonance with these teachings, if something deep within you recognized these principles as truth, I'd love for you to be part of our community. Subscribe to join us on this continuing journey of spiritual abundance. Each video we share builds upon these foundations, creating a comprehensive pathway to living from your highest prosperity consciousness. I'm genuinely curious about your experience with these principles. If this message found you at exactly the right moment in your life, leave a comment saying, "Divine timing brought me here." Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read to begin their own transformation. If you found value in these teachings today, a simple like lets me know these principles are resonating and helps others discover this wisdom too. It's a small gesture that creates ripples of positive impact. Right next to this video, you'll find another exploration of Florence Scovel Shinn's most powerful teachings on manifestation. It picks up exactly where we're leaving off, revealing the next level of prosperity consciousness. Click over when you're ready to continue deepening this work together. Until next time, remember, you are wealth in motion. Your abundance isn't something to achieve, it's something to remember and reclaim as your natural state of being.